In Chapter 7, you get more information about pronouns and pronoun agreement. So it's pretty quick information, really. This video is not going to be too long. But there are some things I wanted to add to it. So the beginning of the chapter talks about pronoun case, and that is just determining the function of that pronoun in the sentence. So there's subjective and objective case. As I've underlined it, you should be able to determine really quickly which is which. Subjective is the subject. Objective is the object of a sentence. So this refers back to the information in a previous chapter about subjects and objects. So the point that the textbook is trying to make is that by determining whether a pronoun is subjective or objective in its case, it helps you determine which form is correct, such as I, me, he or him, etc. But there's a much easier way. A much easier way. My mom taught me this years and years and years ago, so I'm going to pass it on to you. This information is good to know, but by no means would I expect you to be able to be comfortable enough with knowing a subject and an object and then the different forms of these pronouns and which one to choose. That I would never even do that. And I've studied English for a very long time. So here's my easy way. Up here, you have the examples. My dad and I are going to the store. Subjective case, because it's a subject. I am going to the store. Do you want to come with Dad and me? Do you want to come with who? Me. So that's the object. Hopefully that makes sense. Remember, the object answers who or what from the verb, and then the subject, is the one doing the action. Okay, so I, subjective, me, objective. But down here, if you say my dad and I are going to the store, if you simply delete, this is a compound subject, remember? If you simply delete the my dad and part, you'll see that I am going to the store makes more sense. If you had me here, it would say me am going to the store, and I know that you know that that is wrong. Okay? It works the exact same way. Do you want to come with I? No. Do you want to come with me? You just take dad and out. You delete it. Okay? Does that make sense? So again, the case is good information, but I've got a much easier way for you to figure it out. All you have to do is delete the compound subject. Make it a single, simple subject. I. And then you have to change the verb because you're going from plural to singular, but don't change it in the sentence. You just know that, oh, I am makes sense, so my dad and I are makes sense. Does it make sense? I hope so, because this is a much, much easier way to do it. And this is another problem that I hear more than I read. So it's not often something I read, but you'll sound a lot smarter. Actually, not really, because most people don't know this. So ignorance is in good company, I guess. But it's a better way to do it. Use the deletion test, not the subjective, objective test. Okay, pronoun consistency. This is having to do with point of view. So you've got first person, second person, third person. Once you pick one, you have to stick to it. So if you're going to write a paper in first person, stay with it. Second person, stay with it, and so on. Okay? So it's incorrect to say, I had such a bad day, because you never have a good day on Monday. Okay, you've got I here and that general you, which I actually detest, but I'll get there in a second. Just wait, I'm going to lecture you big time in a minute. You just be consistent. So I had such a bad day because I never have a good day on Monday. Okay? Pick one, stick to it. So we've talked a couple times about academic writing. What is the most appropriate point of view for academic writing? Technically, it's the third. In my other courses, I don't allow narration because to me it's a nasty habit that everybody falls into, and when you start writing argumentative essays, it becomes your opinion. And I'm not going to go into that much detail. For this course, it's fine. I'm assigning you narrative essays, so that's perfectly fine for you to narrate. But just know that traditionally in academic writing, it's third person. You just stay objective. You keep yourself out of your paper. And probably by the end of the quarter, I will have you write in third person, not first. Now, here's my lecture on you. Don't use it. It's a general, ambiguous, nonsensical point of view. You don't need to use it, because most people say, you know, when you walk into the store, or you know, when the world is doing blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's just, I hate it. It drives me insane, but it's so common and it's so accepted, and I don't accept it. So don't use you in your papers. I don't like it. Again, because this is a course where we're just working on improving your writing, I'm not going to harp too much about it. But if you ever take an upper level class from me, I'm going to harp on it big time. So practice now. Don't use you. Stay in the first person or the third person, depending on your assignment. All right, so pronoun reference. Pronoun reference is making sure that the pronoun, because remember, a pronoun replaces a noun. So the noun that the pronoun is replacing is called the antecedent. Okay, so an antecedent is always a noun, and it's that noun that the pronoun is replacing. So if you're saying the dog is chasing his tail, he does it every day, he is the pronoun, the dog is the antecedent. All right, so you have to make sure that your pronoun and your antecedent are very clear. Otherwise, you'll just create confusion. So here's an incorrect sentence. The boy asked his friend if he could have some gum. Okay, who is he? Is he the friend, or is he the boy? Is the boy asking his friend for a piece of the friend's gum? Or is the boy asking his friend if the friend would like some of his gum? See? Crazy. You just start going, oh my gosh, my brain is smoking. So, you know, a way to fix this would be, would you like some gum? The boy asked his friend. Oh, okay, that's a little more clear. You have to make sure that the pronoun you're using is very specific to the antecedent or the noun that it's replacing. Usually they're going to be right next to each other. That's a good way to do it. It's very similar to misplaced modifiers. With your misplaced modifiers, your modifier needs to be right next to the thing that it's modifying. Your pronouns don't necessarily have to be right next to the antecedent, but it needs to be absolutely clear what that pronoun is referencing. So make sure your pronouns and your antecedents are always consistent in number and gender. That's just like subject-verb agreement. It's the exact same principle. Just make sure that they match up. And adding, I mean, pronoun errors are pretty basic. I think it's not, to me, too complex. It's not too big of an issue that I see too often, but you still have to pay attention. Writing is such, if you haven't learned it by now, I think I say it in every single video I make, writing is so conscious. You have to make choices. You have to write your sentences in a certain way, and it's a choice that you make. You should not be vomiting on your computer. I mean, not literally, that would be a mess and gross, and okay, that's gross. You should not be mentally vomiting on your digital paper, right? You need to be making conscious choices. So do that. Add clarity. Make sure that there's no confusion with what your pronouns are referencing, and you'll be good. Just let me know if you have any questions or if there's anything I can do to clarify.